Okay, well, I know we have a lot of things to get to today, and so I want to go ahead and get us started here. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon for supporting workforce readiness through the Healthy School Food Pathway Program. I am Emily Gallivan, Senior Director of California Workforce Programs with the Chef Ann Foundation. We're very excited to have you all here with us today during National Apprenticeship Week to talk about our Healthy School Food Pathway Program. We've got some wonderful participants from our apprenticeship and fellowship programs that will speak in a little bit about their journeys in the program. But I want to start today just sharing a little bit about the Chef Ann Foundation and the Healthy School Food Pathway Program. We've got several Chef Ann Foundation team members on the call that you can see with us today that will be managing the chat and answering questions and all of that good stuff. If you do have questions today throughout the webinar, please feel free to use the Q&A and put your question in there. We will make sure that we answer those. And if we don't have time to answer all the questions, we'll be sure to follow up on any outstanding questions as well. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dive in here. So a little bit about the Chef Ann Foundation. So we are a national nonprofit that really aims to support school districts in doing more scratch cooking. So we have a variety of programs that aim to accomplish this. We have our lunchbox.org website that has a lot of recipes and resources on it for school districts. We have grant programs such as salad bars and bulk milk machines. We also have programming that really works with school districts to take them from a heat and serve program to cook from scratch operation. And then we also have our professional development programming, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. And this photo is of our lovely founder and namesake, Chef Ann Cooper, who was a food service director for many years. Before I get into the Healthy School Food Pathway Program, I want to touch a little bit on the importance and power of school food. I know that many of you are likely aware of this, but one of the numbers that always sticks out to me is that 30 million children eat school lunch every day in the US. So thinking about that as a really big restaurant chain, right? There's so many schools and districts throughout the US in urban, rural communities that are feeding kids every day. And 76% of those children receive meals for free or at a reduced rate. And in California, where we're focusing on today, all students are able to eat for free from legislation that was passed recently. There are also a handful of other states that have passed similar legislation as well. Also like to touch on the impact of school food as it does impact so many aspects of our society. It really enables students to be successful academically. It also impacts their physical health and mental health. It also really ties to career development for those that are working in school food, as well as having significant ties to the environment through things like sustainability initiatives and local procurement. And it also really ties to equity with things like culturally relevant meals. So it's really, well, on the surface, it may seem rather simple. There's a lot that goes into school food and a lot of power and impact that it can have. So now diving into more specifically the Healthy School Food Pathway Program. With this program, we're aiming to do a couple of things. So one, we are aiming to provide professional development opportunities to those that are working in school meal programs. And we're also working to provide work experience opportunities to those that are interested in exploring a career path in school food. There have been so many times that I have talked to individuals that now work in school food that say, wish I knew about school food sooner. You know, no one talked about it in culinary school or in college. And so just making sure that folks are aware of this as a career path. To dive into each of these a little bit more, the pre-apprenticeship is meant to be an entry-level opportunity for folks to get experience in school food operations. So with this program, it runs over the course of 7 weeks. We have 2 cohorts per year, one in the fall and one in the spring, and it includes 3 main components. The first are individuals work 12 hours a week in one of our partner K-12 districts. Those are paid hours, or if individuals are already working in a school meal program, we work with them on any additional hours that they receive through the program. They also complete 4 School Food Institute courses. School Food Institute is a program of our organization. These are engaging, self-paced courses that include assignments and focus on some key areas within school food operations. Finally, there are 2 live virtual learning sessions that feature guest speakers that are experts in certain areas related to school food operations. So we have some presentations from them and discussion with those individuals. And finally, I want to mention that this and the apprenticeship are both available in Spanish as well. A few other details on the pre-apprenticeship. So as I mentioned, the on-the-job learning takes place in a California K-12 district. So we have partner districts throughout the state of California that host pre-apprentices. And pre-apprentices are paid $16 an hour for that on-the-job learning, or whatever the county minimum wage is, if that is higher. And then one thing that I really want to note here that is very exciting is our application for the spring pre-apprenticeship just opened this week. It is open until February 12th. So I think Erica will put the link to our grant portal or our application portal in the chat. If you are interested in applying, I know that February 12th feels far away, but I still can't believe it's already mid-November, so I know February will come up fast, and the application is pretty simple. Should take about 10 to 15 minutes to apply. So we welcome anyone to start that application process. A few pieces I want to share about pre-apprenticeship benefits. This also ties to the apprenticeship and some of these pieces to the fellowship as well. But this is a great opportunity for paid work experience in a school meal program. The program is registered with the state of California, so that means that participants receive a certificate of completion once they go through those 7 weeks. The School Food Institute courses are typically fee-based courses that individuals have to pay for. So through this program, you receive access to those courses for free. It's a great opportunity to connect with other school food professionals, receive professional development opportunities, and there's also college credit available through local community colleges. Next, just want to touch briefly on our apprenticeship. So participants that go through the pre-apprenticeship can move on to the apprenticeship, which is a longer and more intensive program. So it is over the course of 9 months. It includes 24 hours a week of that on-the-job learning, so an increase up from 12 hours a week. And then there's an increase of more of those self-paced online courses and virtual learning sessions. Okay, finally, we've got the fellowship. The fellowship is a little bit different than the other 2, as it is geared towards those that are in mid to upper level roles within a school meal program. So roles like district manager, assistant director, head chef, those types of things. And it is over the course of 12 months, and it includes live virtual learning sessions that focus on some key topic areas within school food. It also includes in-person visits. So this picture here is of our fellows at the Culinary Institute of Child Nutrition in Mississippi. They also visit host districts that are doing really innovative things in scratch cooking. They also take some of our School Food Institute courses as well. And finally, towards the end of their program, fellows complete a capstone project where they're taking the learnings that they have gone through throughout the course of the program and apply them to a project within their district. Finally, I will mention, while the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship right now are only in California, the fellowship is in California, but also available nationally. So that's a little, another unique piece about the fellowship program. So now, enough of me talking about all of these programs. I will pause here and see if there are any questions about the components of the program before we switch over to hearing from our panelists that are actual participants in these programs. So Natalie and Amari, any questions so far?
No questions yet.
Okay, perfect. Well, we can go ahead and move over to our panelists. And if questions do come up, please, again, feel free to put those in the Q&A box, and we'll have more time for questions in a bit. So if anything comes up, we can certainly answer those a little bit later as well. Okay. I am very excited to introduce our three panelists that we have joining us today. So we have Dase and Patience, who are both apprentices with our programs. This also means that they went through the pre-apprenticeship, so keep that in mind if you have questions about that program as well. And then we also have RJ, who is a fellow in our fellowship program, and West Contra Costa is also a district that hosts pre-apprentices and apprentices. So if you are a district that is looking at hosting pre-apprentices and apprentices, he's also a great resource for that. So I will pass it over to Erico. She's going to facilitate some questions and answers with our panelists, and then we'll have some time for questions from all of our participants as well.
Thank you, Emily. Thanks. So hi, everyone. I'm Erico. I'm the program coordinator of California Workforce Programs, and I mainly work with the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs. So I have the pleasure of being able to work with Patience and Dase, as well as RJ on the host district side of things. So I'm going to start off with the first question, which is for everyone. And I will say, Patience, if you want to start off with this question, then you could pass it to one of the other panelists. So the first question is, what led you to work in school food?
Well, hi, everyone. Welcome. I started off working in school food as a volunteer, actually, in our kitchens. We were launching breakfast in the classroom, and they needed a lot of help. So I just volunteered because I was a parent at the time. And moving onward into school food, I realized how important it was. And I went from basically washing dishes now to running one of our sites. And it's been a great 15-year experience thus far.
Thank you, Patience. I will pass it over to Dase if you want to take a stab at the question.
Yeah, actually, for myself, my family and children is the reason I work in the school food nutrition. It started 10 years ago, but I didn't start it 10 years ago. But when my son started kindergarten, we decided that he will eat school lunch. Because of background I had with experience with the delicious, nutritious, warm food, and I was excited. But then my son was coming home and telling me that he's eating everyday burritos. And at one point he ended up to tossing food. And that day I decided that my youngest kid will go to school. I will definitely join the nutrition department in our school district and solve this mystery, what's happening. This is how I got in the school food nutrition.
Thank you, Dase. And then finally, RJ, I will pass it over to you.
Thank you. Well, I started with school food about 6 years ago after working in restaurants and bakeries for 25 years. I saw a lot of the plastic and stuff like that was being thrown in the garbage every day from all the pre-packaged food that my kids were eating when I was volunteering at school. And I wanted to see if there was something I could do with that. And I remembered seeing a video with Chef Ann on Chowhound obsessives in 2011. And that just kind of stuck in my head. So I thought that there was possibly something I could do about it and applied. And 6 years later, here I am with the Chef Anne Foundation and in the school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have another question for everyone. So the question is, how has your experience with the Healthy School Food Pathway program impacted your career development or the way you have approached your role? And then this time we will start off with Dasa, if you want to start us off.
Yes, sure. Actually, I'm really grateful and thankful about this program because this program gave me back the drive and remind me the reason why I first place joined the nutrition department, because I actually started work in a school district only 1 year before COVID hit, and only experienced the processed food. And later, for 2 years, we were just packing cold food, and I felt exhausted, and I didn't know. I thought I was living in a school bubble that nobody cares about how kids are eat, what we're feeding, and this healthy school food pathway program just my bubble popped, and I saw a different actually picture. I saw this engine of nutrition department that's there's outside the people who cares about. And when I saw the first video of Chef Anne, how she was talking about this cheese, grilled cheese and mac and cheese, I know what she's talking about. And actually, this program gave me opportunity to work side by side with a cook, with managers, directors. I was able to see what part or role I'm in a school district, and yeah, I just saw the big picture, and I love my job, and I love that I see what is outside here, and that people are care, and how many years they were fighting for good scratch food and good nutritious food for kids. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I love hearing that and just how much it's really changed your perspective. Patience, I'll pass it over to you next.
Well, the pathway itself has been a phenomenal experience for me. I've been involved in management for quite a while, and seeing where kids need to go in our future, because kids now, especially, I feel over the last like 15 years, have really succumbed to packaging and food, and how it's just easy to bring a Lunchable to school, and they don't realize how bad that is for them. My kids personally never really had a lot of packaged foods because I was a firm believer on even cooking from scratch for my own children. So with that being said, I kind of took my own parental guide, and I was like, we need to do this more for all of our kids. And when we started with Chef Anne, I believe, don't quote me, but it might have been about 10 years ago or more, under a different director. And we started with scratch cooking basically 2 or 3 times a year, to weekly, once or twice a week. And now it's 5 full days, all of our lunches. We speed scratch at least 3 to 4 days of our supper program. And we're working on breakfast in the classroom, but that is a little bit harder because of how it's served. But we are focusing on that. And I feel like with the experience I've learned just on the back door of the program itself has helped me also talk to my coworkers and my fellow managers and staff. Like, this is why we do what we do. It's not because they want us to work harder. It is proven fact that if we can get these kids to eat at least once better per day, it's going to affect their ability to stay focused, to be healthier, to not be, so carved up or saturated with all these chemicals that all these processed foods have. And you can do a side by side of like a pizza pocket or a fresh piece of, pizza. And right there, it's just proof in something so simple to start with. Spaghetti, even like just something so simple to make it like, this is what's in this, but this is what's in that. And it's the exact same thing. And it really helped get a lot of people like realizing what we do. And I think our families, particularly during COVID, with what we were sending. They were so disappointed, but so happy to come back, because then they went back to, oh my goodness, my kids are actually eating really, really good food and not all this packaged stuff that they were getting during COVID. So I really think that COVID kind of woke us all up in our own department as to, it is very important what we do, and the families and kids do very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Patience. And then finally, RJ, with a little bit different perspective from the fellowship, but how has the program impacted your career development and the way you've approached your role?
So from the fellowship, I've had access to the coaches and the teachers that we have from our weekly sessions. Secretary Vilsack, the agriculture secretary, came and visited one of our schools, and I had to write a speech. So having access to somebody who could help me write my speech was really very important and incredibly helpful, because I've never done that before. So that was really helped me a lot. And then right now we're in the middle of modernizing our central kitchen. It's 22 years old. A lot of the equipment's falling apart, and it's so old that they don't even make parts for it anymore. So, talking to Brandy about purchasing new equipment, and her experience in Napa, that's, you don't get that anywhere else. That's been incredibly helpful for me. And even running the apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship at our site, that's been very, very helpful, because as a chef for the whole district, we've got 56 sites. My primary objective is to make sure that everybody's trained for scratch cooking, and I'm only one person, and we've got 250 employees. So having help from the Chef Ann Foundation with the pre-apprenticeship and the apprenticeship program is just a huge help to me personally in my career.
Great, thank you. And then our next question is a little bit focused on the pre-apprenticeship. So Patience, I'll start with you. What was your experience like in the pre-apprenticeship? And then part two of that question, why did you decide to move forward with the apprenticeship once you completed the pre-apprenticeship?
Well, the pre-apprenticeship for me personally just solidified what I kind of already knew, but it took me a step further, not realizing that there was more to it. Having again access to you all has been a phenomenal experience for myself. You guys are so supportive, and when I decided to do the apprenticeship is because I do want to move further. I want to go further in my school food career. And I know now that the work that you have to put in, it pays off. It seems, monotonous because we do all these little trainings and all this and that, but you do learn a lot of things that even you might think you already know, but there's still another part of that you were like, oh, wow. And like having these types of meetings, and like with DASE and the other pre-apprenticeships and the apprenticeships, you're like, we share recipes, we share ideas, we communicate. And it's like a whole nother board of people that are interested in taking everything a step further, where sometimes you get a little pushback from your own sites and your own teams, but we are all here because we want to move forward with it, and having that support gives you the confidence to go back to your team and say, look, we can do this. And it's just a great way to communicate with each other. And going through with the apprenticeship, again, it's just, I want to take it further. I want to be a leader in it. I want to be able to say, yes, I support Chef Ann and I support what we're doing, and this is why, and have like enough knowledge to back up what I already personally feel, and fight anything else with the knowledge that I've learned from everybody, from the entire team. So I appreciate that, and it's been super helpful. And we're getting there with some of the little more resilient staff members. It's coming. It's just taking a little longer, but it's working. It's great. We're doing phenomenal over here.
Thank you, Patience. And then Dase's same question. What was your experience like with the pre-apprenticeship? And then why did you decide to move forward with the apprenticeship?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I was actually surprised that there's a program outside, like Chef Ann program, and pre-apprenticeship. When I started, it just blew my mind how much information outside, how much I don't know, and I just stuck in my one kitchen, and I heard that my school director was pushing for scratch cooking, for healthier, and other coworkers just pushing back. It's like a more work. And when I started the pre-apprenticeship, I just got this small glimpse of something big that it went so fast that I wanted to do something more and learn more. Of course, I would like also be more important, play more important role in our school nutrition department, maybe be an oil or engine in future, which runs and supports scratch cooking. But I love every minute, and I love every class I took, online class, and every extra hour spent with different team. And I saw how teams are different, even in one school district, how people appreciate it. And I think that I kind of knew that I will go again to do my apprenticeship if I will accept it, the same team. And luckily it's my team right now for this year. And yeah, I just wanted to learn more and then just change the perspective and work with the people who love their job.
Thank you, Patience.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next question is for RJ. So RJ is a fellow, but he also helps lead the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs at his district at West Contra Costa. So RJ, what has your experience been like as a host district and working with the pre-apprentices and apprentices?
Well, I learned a lot about how to help my employees more. I learned about things that were gaps in their training that I didn't realize before. Things, I made assumptions about things that I thought they knew that they didn't. I was lucky to have taken the fellowship before I had pre-apprentices and apprentices, because they're taking a lot of the same classes and courses that I've taken. So I had firsthand experience with the classes, which was super helpful to help guide them through it. It was really interesting to learn the skills that I didn't know that they had. I was kind of surprised in a couple of instances, and that was very refreshing. And it's been really great to see the folks that have gone through the program so far, really rise to the occasion and show their leadership skills in the jobs that they're currently doing. That's been, I think, the best thing so far, is just to see its effectiveness and see the change.
Thank you, RJ. Okay, well, that was all we have for the panel today. So thank you, Patience, RJ, and Dase for answering those questions. And if anyone has any questions for the panel or about the pre-apprenticeship program itself, you could put them either in the chat or in the Q&A function, which if you click the 3 dots to say more, you could click Q&A. So Emily, I will pass it over to you to wrap us up.
Perfect. Thank you, Erica. So we've got about 15 minutes left. So we have a lot of time for questions, either for the Chef and Foundation team about the logistics of any of these programs, as well as any questions that you may have for our panelists. If you have additional questions about their experience, I know there are a few questions that have come through the Q&A and the chat. Amari, I can go ahead and read them because I have them here. That might be a little bit easier. So I know that one participant asked about the 12 hours of on-the-job learning in terms of scheduling and payment. And so how that works, once an individual is accepted into the pre-apprenticeship program, we connect you with the K-12 host district so you can work out your schedule. It's being 12 hours a week. Individuals typically work either 2 6-hour shifts or 3 4-hour shifts a week. So there is some flexibility within that. Typical school food hours run generally 6 or 7 a.m. to 2 to 3 p.m. So they're generally within that range of hours, obviously Monday through Friday. And then as far as payment, so we work with a third-party entity called Career Catalyst. And so individuals are paid through that platform. So we help folks get set up within that system so that you receive payment on a bi-weekly basis from them for your hours worked. Okay. And then I know we also had a question from a community college about interest in working with us on this program, and we would love to partner with any community colleges on the call or partner organizations. So please, I'll throw my email in the chat, or please feel free to also throw your email in the chat. We'd love to connect with folks. And how we've done course credit in the past with community colleges is it's typically a work experience course credit that individuals have received for the program. So that's how we've worked with community colleges in the past to set up that course credit process. Okay, we move over to the chat here. I know we've got some questions in here, and let me just make sure I'm getting back to the beginning of them. And I know there's also some questions about current staff participating in the program. So if you do have current team members that you're interested in participating in the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship, and they are either full-time working 40 hours a week or close to that, they can still participate in the virtual components of the program. So those School Food Institute courses and the virtual learning sessions. So we still encourage those individuals to apply. Those hours that they spend participating in those virtual learning components is unpaid time. So I will mention that. And as Amari said, participants must complete the pre-apprenticeship to move on to the apprenticeship. Individuals do not need to complete the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship to do the fellowship. So I want to make sure that that is clear as well. So great questions in the chat here. Okay. Okay, sorry, just trying to get to our current questions here. So we also have a question about day in the life of a pre-apprentice. So as far as, you know, a typical shift within the pre-apprenticeship. So this is really meant to give folks a taste of what it is like to work in a school food program. So that could be preparing food, serving food to the kids, cleaning up, washing dishes, you know, preparing meals for or prepping kind of things for the next day. So it's really as if you're a team member within the school meal program. So that is one thing I want to mention. It's not necessarily, you know, a one-on-one training experience. It's meant to really be that full work experience within a school meal program. Okay. Oh, we have oh yeah, Erica.
Just related to that question, I know Dase has been able to do a couple of fun things with the program.
Great. Yes.
In her update she sends to me. So Dase, I was just wondering if you wanted to share one of those.
You would like I will share with you.
Yeah, just one of the, you know, the updates you put in your September, October updates that you've sent me before. Sorry, not to put you on the spot, but I think it'd be fun to hear about one of those quickly.
I don't remember which one, but by October, yeah, we had a really good good event in our school nutrition department, our school district. We had a farm dinner for our community. It was really nice experience working side by side with the chefs and do this event. Then it's really was nice to learn how to do different cooking, scratch cooking, and getting our farm produce and making salads. We have a lot of fun things in our school district, and then high school we are doing a lot of scratch cooking, and yeah. And for Friday we will also have a special dinner for Thanksgiving Day. We will make our own mashed potatoes and turkey. I will send later picture. This is also a really nice touch for Thanksgiving Day for our students and our leader team who decided to do that.
Great, thank you, Dasi. Yeah, Dasi always sends me really lovely updates, so fun to hear about what she does. Pass it back to you, Emily.
Thanks, Erica, and thank you, Dase, for sharing that. I appreciate that. So it's better to hear from the people themselves, working in the kitchen. So that's great. I think this question would be great to hear from you, RJ. So do you think that when a district participates in the pre-apprenticeship program, the current district employees love their job more? And Patience and Dasi, you can also certainly chime in on this as well.
I feel like they do. So the three that I had start the apprenticeship or pre-apprenticeship have moved on to the apprenticeship. And I don't think they would have continued if they didn't already. But all three of those people have also been with the school district for more than a decade. And I think one of them for more than 2 decades. So it's kind of hard to pile love on top of that, but they're seeming to do it. And they're motivated to do more and achieve more. So I think that's proof in the pudding.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Patience or Dase, anything you want to add to that?
I would like to say personally, the pride that you carry knowing that you're part of this program and what you've learned and being able to just keep going. And it is a pride. You take a lot of effort that you put in and seeing all that hard work and all your effort actually showing through in the food, and the kids come up to you and they just love what you're doing. They love the new things. They love the changes. Like our marketing, we've been working on trying to update a lot of that. We've moved to the bulk milk machines. The kids are finally loving those. And without Chef Ann, honestly, none of that part of it, the bulk milk, the salad bars, the marketing, I don't think we would have had the exact same tools or even the knowledge that we should be doing these things. So I feel like it's definitely worth it. As a pre-apprentice, I actually had a pre-apprentice work with me last year for a little bit. And it was fun because they had never been in school food before. They were a college student here locally. And they were just shocked at the amount of work that we put in. But seeing all those kids come through happy every day, and we are their safe place for that 45 minutes to an hour. We're the best part of their day, and we should be. And I always tell the kids, this is your break. This is your fun time. We're not here to make you miserable. So communicate. Let's have fun in here. And everybody loves it. And it's just a fun environment. I want to emphasize that to everybody out there on this is keep your cafeterias fun. Don't rush them through, be positive, be happy. When they all leave, you can put your Toy Story Barbie face on, are they gone? That's fine. But, this is really important to teach kids how to eat better and get them going. So when they're our age or older, they're making better choices, and we can kind of hopefully make a healthier nation out of all of this.
I also would like to say that I believe that my team, actually everyone loves their job. There's no way they don't love it. And the most rewarding thing for us when kids are standing in the line and saying, "Oh, that food was really delicious." Last week or week before, I was standing in a pizza kiosk and I saw 2 kids are running. And then, "Oh, let's go. We have to be fast. Otherwise, they will run out of clam chowder soup." And then our teriyaki chicken with the noodles are also selling so well. And today after my work, I just ran to the kitchen and asked, how did you do it? Did kids like it? Yeah, they stay in line. And I think this is most rewarding when you put so much effort to do good food and make the good food, and you work as a team, and kids appreciate. They stay in a line, they wait, and plates are empty, and then they ask, "Oh, when it will be next time? If we change special, they ask, "Oh, I thought something will be there." Yeah, this is. Thank you.
Fantastic. All wonderful answers all around. So it's great to hear from all of you about the pride in your work, your team members' pride in their work. Feeding kids every day is a vital role in all of our communities. And so I just applaud each of you for all that you do every day, and those of you on the call that already work in school food operations. It's very important work. I know we've got just a couple minutes left and a handful of questions, so I'll try to answer a couple quickly here, but I see how many credits are students usually able to get from the program. So it depends a little bit on the college, but it's typically for the pre-apprenticeship, 1 unit of a work experience credit, because that ties to the 84 hours that are over the course of that 7 weeks. So it typically equates to that 1 course credit. And then I know there's also a question about the apprenticeship program, if it's side by side with the work in the district and how that works. And so if current school food staff participate in the program, so the virtual learning components are typically outside of work hours. If team members are working less than 40 hours a week, we can work with individuals to cover additional working hours for individuals in the meal program. So that is an option as well. And then how many apprenticeships are offered per district? So that varies a little bit district to district, how many pre-apprentices each district is able to host. So we encourage folks to go ahead and submit an application. There's a very quick little interview process that we'll go through, but it varies district to district how many pre-apprentices and apprentices each district is able to host. And then lastly, I see here, if someone is currently working in a district, would they usually be doing their own pre-apprenticeship in their own district or somewhere local? So we really encourage, if someone is already working in a school meal program, to participate within their own district. We work with districts on a regular basis to bring on more host districts. So if you're with a district that is not part of the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship program yet, we're happy to chat with you to talk a little bit more about what it means to become a host district so that your staff can participate in this program as well. Okay. Okay, one more question I'll answer real quick here. Program within a district. So yes, so if you are interested in becoming a host district, please reach out to us. I will put my email in the chat here as we wrap up. But I just want to thank especially our panelists today for joining us. It's always wonderful to hear directly from those that are participating in these programs and hear directly from you about your experiences. I know we moved quickly through some of the questions today, so my chat or my email is in the chat. So if you have additional questions from today, please feel free to reach out. Panelists, any parting words for our guests today as we wrap up?
Do it, and it's fun. Like, do it. It's so much fun. It's so worth it. Encourage your teams all the way from your 2-hour employees to your management and 8-hour employees. Get them involved, get them on board, do it yourself. It's really worth it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of it.
I also
go ahead, Dave.
I also would like to encourage everyone to apply for this opportunity. It's it's fun and goes fast, and you learn so much, and you can learn how you can change and then impact the school. That is really nice.
The pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship has been very beneficial for my employees, and the fellowship for me, we've often told Natalie and Laura that they captured lightning in a bottle with the 24 of us that they chose. The first time we met, we were like family. We have a chat that's going 24/7 for almost a year now. So anytime I need something, I can bounce ideas and recipes off these guys, and it's the best.
Awesome. Well, I think all of that is a great way to wrap up today. Really thank everyone for joining us today. As I said, if you have additional questions that weren't answered, there's more information on our website, or please feel free to reach out to us. But thank you again to all of our panelists for being here today. Grateful for all you do in your meal programs every day and sharing your experiences today. And I think that will wrap us up here today. Happy National Apprenticeship Week, everyone.
Thank
Hope
you. And
everyone
thank
has
you.
a great evening.
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot.